I'm here to talk about being prepared. Scout motto is be prepared. This was Scout Troop 199 in Two Garden Hills, Queens, New York. Right in the middle there, there's a scout, and I cherish the years that I've spent in scouting. I went to Alpine Scout Camp, 10 Mile River. The other senior patrol leader, Bob Spinner, you might have seen him on TV if you've ever watched the Super Bowl. He produced the Super Bowl and the Madden Summerall team. He was the producer of that. We were scouts together, and we used to share a tent. One time at 10 Mile River, Bear Mountain, we got so much snow that we stayed in the tent, and we couldn't move because we were snowed in. But that was part of my scouting adventure, and I cherish those days. One of the scouting requirements is to have an astronomy badge. So I would sit with my neighbors on the front stoop of our house in Queens and look at the moon. And little did I know that in a few short years, I would be helping and be a part of the team that sent men to the moon on Project Apollo. This is the logo for NASA, called the meatball, but it was created for peaceful exploration of space. There's some bad guys out there, so they've added a Space Force that has nothing to do with NASA, but they do the same things. But NASA's mission is to understand and protect our home planet and for peaceful exploration of space. So Project Apollo was hatched, and there are 3 diamonds in the center because there are 3 crew members that go from the Earth to the Moon. I was part of the growing team that was given the task of building the lunar module. Lunar module is the one vehicle that actually lands on the Moon and brings them back to lunar rendezvous with the Command Service module. Talk about that a little bit. So to get to the Moon, there are 3 basic ways you can get there: direct ascent, Earth orbit rendezvous, lunar orbit rendezvous. And what was designed was a mission that did both the lunar orbit and the Earth orbit rendezvous technique. If you know Jules Verne, he selected direct ascent from the Earth to the Moon that I read as a child growing up. But the concept was to lift off the Moon, orbit the Earth, set up to go to the Moon, and then separate. And all this was because of the weight considerations. Because to send a payload into space, it takes 7 times the weight in fuel. And so the less weight you take out, the less you have to get off the ground. I went to Florida. I started in New York, where the lunar module was built, and I was selected to go to Florida to be part of the launch, assembly, test, and checkout of the lunar module. So the lunar module was built in its entirety in Bethpage, New York, and service module built in California. The rockets were built in Utah, California, and so Project Apollo was designed to help spread the cost and spending of the money to go all across the country, not just in one place. So you have the Space Center in Houston, Huntsville to build a rocket, and Kennedy Space Center to actually launch the Saturn V to go to the Moon. So it was quite diverse. So I was part of the team, a team of 400,000 people. Just to give you an idea, the antenna on the lunar rover was knit by a little old lady in New Jersey, knitting gold thread to make the antenna to go to the Moon. She was part of the team. Build spacesuits, who do you get to the assignment to build form-fitting, body-conforming clothing. ILC, International Latex Corporation. Some of you ladies may have heard of that company. But so the spacesuits, Hamilton Standard, Boeing, Rocketdyne. There's many, many companies. There's many, many specialties. All part of the team to build Apollo to go to the moon. So that's the Saturn V, lunar module in the middle, Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins, the flash that's on the moon. But these are signatures collected from the different space centers, Kennedy, Houston, and Huntsville. And rather than carry paper, it was put on a negative to carry to the moon. So I just have to tell you, there's just one signature that's written in Chinese on there. It's on there. So we landed on the moon in 1969, July 20th, my granddaughter's birthday. July 20th, 1969. Apollo 12 went up, and some people were interested, but over 1 million people were at Kennedy Space Center for the launch of Apollo 11. But then 13 came. People had said, we've been to the moon, why are we going back? But 13 was the considered a successful failure. They failed to land on the moon, but we did things that we never imagined that the spacecraft would do, because the crew of Jim Lovell, Fred Hayes, and this is a picture of Tom Mattingly, but Tom Mattingly was exposed to the measles. He didn't get the measles, he was exposed, and we couldn't risk the crew getting the measles while on the 7-day journey to and from the moon. And so he was scrubbed from the mission, and then Jack Swigert went, and so that's one of the reasons on that patch you don't see any names. Up there are the patches of the crewed missions to the moon, and each one of them have the names of the crew members, except for 13 and 11. 11 knew they were going to be the first to land, and they said, we're going for everyone, and we're not going to put our names on the patch. So that's just an aside.